Of all SwiftUI's view types, the one you rely on the most is called a list. Does it mean you'll use it the most? Obviously, text or VStack will take that particular crown. More that list is such a workhorse, you'll come back to it time and time again. This is not new. You've been doing UI kit development years ago. List is equivalent to a UI table view or UI collection view, and they were used just as much back then as they are today. Now, the job of list is to make a scrolling table of data. In fact, it's basically the same as a form, except it's user presenting data rather than accepting user input. Don't get me wrong, you use form a lot too, but list is really the base of all that work. Form is just a specialized version of list. Just like form, you can start with a list of static views to have them rendered as individual rows. We could say, for example, I want a list here with a text of, let's do hello world. Like that, 1, 2, and 3 times. I'll just slide in as static data. We can also use a for each. I could say list for each 0 to 5. And then do text of dynamic row $0, like so. Boom. Where things get more interesting is how you can mix up static and dynamic rows at the same time. So I might say we have a list with, let's do static row 1, then row 2, then dynamic rows, and then we'll do 3 and 4 below. And just like forms, you can have sections as well. We could say, oh, these first two, these have been a section called section 1. Like so. And then dynamic ones will be section 2 of those data. And then some last one below, I'll do section 3. Like so. As you can see, the header is just some text, like it was in form, passed in directly to the string. You don't have to have a separate header if you want to. You can just pass in titles like that. Now, being able to have both static and dynamic values in the same list allows you to remake something like Apple's Wi-Fi selection screen really easily. You've got sort of a toggle switch that's fixed there no matter what to enable Wi-Fi system-wide. Yes, it's on, no, it's off. But then a dynamic list of nearby networks to your current phone, plus some static cells to handle things like auto-joining hotspots, for example. Now you'll see this list by default looks similar to the form we had previously. We can adjust how it looks with a list style modifier. We could say, for example, I want a list style of .grouped. And it looks ever so slightly different. Now, everything you've seen so far works fine with form as well as list, even the dynamic stuff. But one thing that list can do that form can't do is generate its data entirely from dynamic content without having to have a for each inside there. And so, if your entire list is dynamic content, you can simply write this. A list of 0 to 5 with some text inside it, like that. And just delete the whole rest. And so our list becomes purely dynamic content. And this lets us make lists very, very quickly, which is helpful given how common they are. Now in this project, we're going to use lists slightly differently. We'll make it loop over an array of strings. We've used for each with ranges a great deal so far, either hard-coded like 0 to 5, or rely on variable data like 0 to students.count, and that works great because SwiftUI can identify each row uniquely based on its position in the array, or the range, sorry. We have an array of data. SwiftUI still needs to know how to identify every row in the list uniquely. So if one of the rows gets removed, or one inserted, for example, it can just change that small part of the list rather than redrawing the whole thing all at once. This is where the ID parameter comes in. We can tell it, and it's the same for list and for each, by the way, it tells SwiftUI exactly what makes each item in its list different. When we have arrays of simple things like strings and numbers, the only thing making that value unique is the value itself. So we have an array of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The numbers themselves are the unique identifiers. They're all unique numbers. After all, we have nothing else to work with. They have no other property inside there making them unique. And when we have this kind of thing, we're going to say ID of self, like so. We'll do people is an array of, I'll do Finn, then Leia, then Luke, then Ray. And our list here, I'm going to say list over all those people using ID of \self and then just text of $0. Now Finn, Leia, Luke, and Ray appearing here. And this works just the same as with for each. If you wanted to mix static and dynamic rows, we could say, let's take this whole parenthesis bit to my clipboard. I make an empty list like that and do text of static row, and then make a for each of that content with our text inside, and then have another static row afterwards. So we have dynamic data right here using for each with ID of \self, saying the strings themselves are going to be unique.